Welcome back to Peniros Mind, my people, and blessings. Today we've got another mind-blowing video from Roger from Mudfossil University. Now, if you haven't seen him before, in my videos, with the visual birth on the earth, that's his work there. And also, the Titans and Giants video that I've done, that's my work. But if you haven't watched those two videos together, it will get you a rough estimation of where we're going with this one, right? So yeah, I know the title might look a bit crazy, but it is what it is. I'm gonna let the video just run, and then you put your comments and make your decisions afterwards, okay? So yeah, please like, subscribe, and share. Blessings.
Now this is a vagina. I mean, what can I say? It's a vagina. It's a gigantic vagina. And it's in Bulgaria, Romania, one of those. It's a Trajan monument that they went and worshipped at. And it is literally was from a giant human vagina. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was human. Now, how can I make that absolute assertion? I've had all kind of geologists and people, oh, you do this silly guy talking about foolish, silly things. They carved that. It was just erosion and just water ran off and all that. They ran down all this stuff. No. Those people need to get a little biology lesson. Now, what are we looking at right there? That little tiny line. That is where the blastula sealed up. And you say, well, why is it a little tiny line there? Why would that happen? And I say, because all these creatures died in a great flood, which every culture talked about. It swept the entire earth. Now, I don't care what your religion is, or your creed, or your race, or your gender. I don't care about any of that stuff. This is something that happened in history. I don't care. You can laugh, you can do whatever you want. That is an absolute, no question whatsoever. That is from a giant human creature. And you see that step right there? That step is even real. I looked at that and I said, well, they carved that? And I said, well, they must have carved that. Well, no, that's what's in the biology. It's called a vestibule. I'll show you the vestibule shot in a minute, but the reason this is split here is because of these creatures in that saltwater condition. Flesh, they used to preserve tissues with salt to preserve food. It keeps it from decaying. And this is what happened when it was in the salt waters. It leached all of the volatile, explosive chemistry out of the bodies in the salt water. They became waterlogged. That means the tissue became semi-stable in a condition where the salt has leached out all of the organic things that will explode. So what happens after that? After that, it dries out. And when it dries out, the cellular attachments and the fascia specifically, and we're going to go into that next, the fascia is where that seal was on that blastula is what I'm going to call a fascia seal. And this is a fascia seal. And it is a tight seal, but during this process, that is the weak spot. It expanded and cracked right down the center of that female giant's body. That's the abdominal cavity. This is the vaginal, that's the vaginal, canal, and it has all of this little lines in it and fluting, and I'll show you that too. Now this, I believe, is a natural thing. That's what's called a vestibule. So let's look at the anatomy. And see, that's the vestibule. I think that is natural. It's even got that little lump on it too. And then you have all of this fluting in the vaginal canal. And then, of course, you got the cervix. They call it a fornix. I always thought it was a cervix. But at the top is where the seam runs right up through the body. Now, let's look at another shot. See, that's the layers in the vaginal walls there that are inside the vaginal canal. And they're very obvious. You see them. And I'm going to show you one. This is the thing. The earth is nothing like we've ever or anybody could have ever expected. So nobody's to be held accountable for not understanding this. It's just time to stand up and say, well, let's take a look at it. It makes sense. Why turn your eyes away from something that's reality? Because I'm going to show you this in the earth that'll just blow your mind right out of your head. Because this is I'm going to show you. You see that? That's a vagina. And these are, it's all different guys. This is one of the deepest caves in the world. That's that vaginal tissue. This is where the seam is. That is, it's a mat that covers it while you're alive. And then after death, that seam erodes away. But this is the fluting of the vaginal canal. This is a gigantic, and I've been, well, I haven't been there, but I did a 3D tour of this thing with, you can go in, I didn't go in there, I wasn't anywhere near this thing, but online, I went down, all the way down through it, and you could go to the fallopian tubes and everything. I mean, obviously you can see how pristine and perfectly preserved it is. So, again, the world and the earth and the universe and our history and science and physics and geology and everything, as far as I can determine, has been misunderstood or changed to accommodate somebody's desires that was in control at the time. That's all I can say, because it's not what it's supposed to be. And nothing is being taught, nothing is being accepted they're not accepting what's real. And they're just clinging to these irrational acceptances of things that, you know, like, even like evolution. It all just came from dead dust, all accumulated together, and then turned into all the stuff that we see, and us, and thinking, and this internet, and having sex, and having reproduction, and your body takes care of itself. And no, that didn't happen from dead dust banging together accidentally. I don't care how many billions of years you want to add. It's never, ever, ever going to happen. So they have to come out of this glacial mind state where they just cannot move forward. Although, let's get some global brain warmings and move that glacial impasse out of these weak minds. Because everything that I have, I can stand behind. Every single word I say, I have something to back me up. And that is not the case coming out of theoretical, academic, PhD science. It's 100% theoretical and 100% misunderstood. And when they have something they can look at, they just don't understand it, because they don't have enough breadth. They don't have enough background, enough stretching intelligence to be able to deal with it. They see one little thing and they say, well, that's it, the case closed. And that's what happens. Every single one of them, not a one of them has been able to stand up and address anything that I have said. Not a single one of my research topics. And I cover every single one of them. So I'm still waiting. And if I was a student, I would be extremely upset. And this woman that wants to forgive student loans, God bless her, because she is right. They should forgive them this instant.